One of you guys was worried that you will lose 88% when investing in our real estate security tokens. Because when you invest 100 euros and get 12% interest, you are left with an 88% loss. This showed us that we didn't do a good enough job to explain how the investment on our platform really works in detail. So let's do that now in this episode of the GermanReal.Estate Wiki. To make it as easy as possible, let's use a timeline and say you start investing 100 euros today. That's the investment minimum on our GermanReal.Estate marketplace, and this gives us the easiest numbers as well. Let's use the example of Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach, because this was our very first investment and this is also the investment where we had the most recent news. The property developer used the extension period, which made one of you guys think we lied to investors, which we're not, but we'll come to this later on. If you guys invest 100 euro in Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach, you can expect a 4% fixed interest rate and a 20% profit share. Does that mean you will get 4 euros if the profit share is 0 and you will lose 96 euros of your initial investment? Of course not. Otherwise, this will be a pretty bad investment. So let's look at the next step in our investment timeline, the interest period. It depends on the exact investment if it's just one interest period or multiple interest periods. For Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach, which we use as an example, it's one single interest period at the maturity date. The minimum duration from the beginning of the investment was at the end of July, so just a couple of weeks ago. The maximum duration is, and stays, the end of 2023. The dates on our website are changed already because 5 Rocks decided to pull the extension until the end of this year. The feedback we received for that was mostly positive or neutral. Only one person wrote,
"When will I get my interest?"
at the maturity date, as it was mentioned from the very beginning. Please check the information we provide before investing instead of complaining afterwards. And if you have a question, because I realize sometimes things are not as easy from an outside perspective, then do it as the guy who gave us the inspiration for this video right here and send us a message. Hey guys, if I invest in your tokens with a 12% interest rate, do I lose 88% of my money? No biggie, right? Asking questions if you're not sure about things. Communicating and learning is a lot better than complaining and insulting other people. At least in my humble opinion. If you are interested why 5 Rocks decided to extend, which is a decision that is beneficial for everyone involved if you ask me, feel free to watch our interview with Tobias. Other investments can pay interest differently. Könquartier pays interest on a half-yearly basis and not at the maturity date like Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach. Only the profit share is paid at the maturity date, which makes sense because it is a property development. Profit happens once the property is finished constructing, and that's when you investors get paid. Our community portfolio is not a property development, and that's why the profit share is paid on an annual basis. Once we sell a property and know the profit we made after taxes, we will share 50% of that profit with you, and 50% are being reinvested into the portfolio. I don't think it would be fair towards you investors if you would have to wait until 2035 to see some profit distribution. Next step on our investment timeline is the minimum duration. That's the earliest date you investors can receive your investment back, but maybe not, because the issuer of the investment can decide to prolong until the maximum duration. We just talked about it, that 5 Rocks decided to prolong Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach for the 6 months they're allowed to do it. And I'm pretty sure that this is not the last investment that gets prolonged, because it's very normal in property development. I would even say it's more the rule than the exception that things get delayed in real estate. Especially here in Germany. It can be bureaucratics being slow as supply shortages, handymen not being available. So many things that can happen that are normal and not worth panicking about. 5 Rocks has 2 really good options on the table right now, and I think it's smart to take time and evaluate what's best for 5 Rocks and best for investors. And that's why our very first real estate security token we launched in summer last year has now reached its final stage, the maximum duration period. Before the end of the year, 5 Rocks will make a decision what to do with Welcome Home in Mönchengladbach, and that is when the security token matures definitively. At the maximum maturity date, you will receive your initial investment back. That's what the person writing the email forgot. That's why they came to a minus 88% return. You will receive your initial investment back, you will receive your fixed interest rate, which is more than 4 euros now because the token got extended. The interest rate is always calculated on a yearly basis. So if you invest longer than a year because the token got extended, you will receive a higher fixed interest payment. And you will also receive your profit distribution. How much will that be? It depends on the profit 5rocks makes with this development. If 5rocks would make 100 euro profit, just as an example to have the easiest number possible, 20 euro would be paid to investors because we have a 20% profit share. And these 20 euro would be split equally among the 450,000 available welcome home tokens. It's just an example. I would be extremely surprised if 5rocks only makes 100 euro profit with this 4-story building. The profit share is where 5rocks and the investors come together, both profiting from higher property prices. And that's why I love it so much, because it puts us all into the same boat, because we want to maximize profits. As soon as we know what the exact numbers will be, we'll update you on our website, in our newsletter, and here on YouTube to make sure everyone gets as much information as possible. Until then, check out all the investments on our website that are linked in the description. Happy investing, everyone!